If you're looking for a demo of the Kenwood Titanium Chef Patissier XL, then you have come to the right place. So get yourself comfy and let's get on with it. So I am someone who is completely baking obsessed. I bake every single day of my life, which you might have seen if you've checked out my Instagram before. But yeah, basically, I could not live without a stand mixer. So today I thought I'd give you guys a demo of how it works. Now this is the first time that I have ever used it, so you'll see my first reactions as I go along. And what I thought I'd do is I'd bake something really simple and delicious, but that shows off lots of the features, and that is gingerbread cupcakes. As I said, this is a stand mixer with a whole host of amazing features that I really am excited to try out. So for instance, it has a really cool touch screen, has loads of presets, but also you can use it on manual. One of the things that is really exciting me is it has a warming bowl so that you can actually like melt chocolate, make Swiss meringue, all that sort of stuff in the machine itself. You don't have to like use a pan on the hob, you can actually do it in the machine. Because it has the warming bowl, it also has a dough proving setting, which is just really cool. You can prove your dough in your stand mixer. So the warming bowl is probably one of my favorite features. But the other one that I really like the sound of is the weighing scales. Like, it has built-in weighing scales, so you can just pour your ingredients into the bowl on the stand mixer and it weighs it for you. So I really can't wait to see how that works. So that is the feature that I'm probably going to show you first. Give this video a like and let's get baking. Right, so let's start making these gingerbread cupcakes. Firstly, we need to make the sponge. Oh, there is a light in here. Now that is cool. I've never seen that on a stand mixer before. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm gonna make the cupcakes. I have got a few ingredients here and I need to melt them down, which usually I would just do on the hob, but because this has an amazing warming bowl, I'm actually gonna give it a go in the mixer itself. So I've got these two things which are weighed out already, but then I've got a couple of syrups. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use the weighing function of this as well, which, I mean, is just crazy. So firstly, gonna lift this up. Then I've got some light brown sugar, put that in, put my butter in. Then I've got my golden syrup. So I'm going to put this onto 0 again, and I'm gonna hopefully measure this out and hopefully measure out about 175 grams. So it's going up, it's going up. This is just so handy because usually you just struggle so much when doing stuff like this. Get stuck to the spoon, so putting it directly into your bowl that you're gonna mix it in and melt it in or whatever. There we go. Perfect. And then my final ingredient is my black treacle. So I've put it back down to 0. Now this is the hardest ingredient in the world, I find, to get out of things. But I only need about 50 grams. So I'm gonna say that's a fair amount of it. There we go. That will do. Oops, got a bit sticky. This is completely new to me now, so I'm gonna put this down and I'm going to go on to the warming bowl setting. So I'm gonna turn it on, and you have loads of different settings, so depending on what you want to warm. So I know something about this one is about melting chocolate, and because I want to melt this all down and mix it, that sounds about right to me. So then I just press this and it should start melting. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this heat up and then I'll start stirring it, because obviously we don't want it to just heat up, we want it to mix all together, and it's got like a nice stirring function. So it kind of does the work for me. Okay, so amazingly, all the ingredients have melted and combined on a stand mixer, in a stand mixer. Like, that's just not normal for a stand mixer. This is unique. Okay, so I've now got my milk and my eggs, which I'm gonna add to the mixer. I'm gonna weigh out the milk in the mixer because I've got these weighing scales, so why not use them? And I can actually change the unit, so I can change it to mil, which is very handy because obviously it's a liquid. So I'm just gonna weigh this out. Okay, then I'm gonna crack my 3 eggs in. And then put this down, and I'm just gonna mix them together just until they're combined. You don't need to do it like massively, but just enough so that you can no longer see the egg yolks and it looks lovely and smooth. Okay, so now that the eggs and milk are all mixed together, I'm going to re-add in my sort of syrupy, buttery, sugary mix in, and I'm gonna do that very slowly whilst the mixer is on. So this is where it's really handy. If you didn't have a stand mixer, you couldn't do this. You'd have to be doing 2 things at once. So I'm gonna turn this on and then gradually add this and keep it mixing until it's all completely combined. Okay, so I'm just going to remove my beater And then it's time to get my flour involved. So I'm gonna switch over my bowls. I'm gonna take this bowl out, which is why this is so awesome, because it actually has 2 bowls that come with it. And then I'm gonna put my big old bowl, which I've put my flour in already. And then I just need to add into it my ginger, which obviously is the most important ingredient when it comes to gingerbread cupcakes. So let me just get my ginger. I'll just put in my ginger, about a teaspoon of cinnamon, or a little bit more if you like. And then it's time to mix these all together, and then I'm gradually gonna add in my liquid mixture into that, and we're done. Okay, so I'm gonna use a different paddle to mix this all together. This one has got like a plastic edging, which means that it can really scrape the sides of the bowl, which is really, really handy. So I'll just attach this, put that down, and then just very gently stir this all together. Okay, so that's our cupcake mixture completely ready. So I'm gonna get my cupcake cases ready in their tin, and then I'll pour this in, and yeah. Okay, so I've got my cupcake cases ready, and now I'm just gonna pour in my mixture into each one of these. Okay, so cupcakes ready for the oven. These are going in at 160C fan / 180C for around 20 to 25 minutes. I usually do 22. See you later. So these are fresh out of the oven. They smell amazing. They're super, super sticky. And yeah, whilst these are cooling, I am going to make my buttercream. Okay, so it's buttercream time. So I've got my butter here, and I'm gonna add that to the mixer and mix it until it becomes really nice, pale white and fluffy. And that actually takes usually around 5 minutes or so. Don't rush it, just let it beat for ages, and then we'll add our icing sugar. There we go, 5 minutes. So my butter has been beating for about 5 minutes now. It's lovely and pale in colour, and it's now time to add the icing sugar, which is my least favourite job in the world because it flies all over the place. But hopefully this little contraption that Kenwood have come up with will save the day. So it sort of stops, well, hopefully stops the icing sugar from going everywhere. And I've got like a little sort of section that I can post my icing sugar through gradually. So hopefully we won't have a whole icing sugar dust fest, but who knows. Okay, so my buttercream is looking lovely and fluffy and beautiful, and honestly, this is probably the easiest I've ever made buttercream. No sugar has gone anywhere. It's just made it like a dream, and I've made such a large quantity. The last things that I need to add to this, because obviously right at this minute is only icing sugar and butter, but we want to give it a bit of flavour. So I'm going for a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of ground ginger, because gingerbread cupcakes want a bit more ginger. And then after that, I'll check the consistency, and if I need to, just to loosen it up a bit, I'll add a little bit of milk. If not, I'll just leave it as it is, and it'll be ready to be piped onto my cupcakes very shortly. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of milk just to loosen it up. You don't wanna add much because you don't want it to become runny, but just to give it a bit more sort of niceness, I guess. So that's my buttercream done. Amazing, amazing using this machine. It was so, so good. I can't explain how happy I am. But now it's back to the cupcakes because I think they should be cooled now. Okay, so my cupcakes are now ready. They're lovely and cooled. So it's time to construct them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna core them. So take a little chunk out of the middle of each, and then I'm gonna fill them with a little bit of caramel. Now this is optional, but I think it's just like, I was gonna say the icing on the cake, but it's not, because that will be the buttercream, but it's really good. So I'm gonna core them, caramel them, and then pipe the buttercream. That will be the icing on the cake. So whilst I'm coring the cupcakes, I thought I'd let you know my first impressions of my first test. To be honest, I am totally in love with this mixer already, and I can't wait to use it on a super regular basis. I mean, the fact you can heat and melt ingredients with the easy warm bowl feature is an absolute game changer for me. It's literally something I've never seen before in a stand mixer. The touchscreen is really easy to use. You can change the colour of the screen, which is fun, but better still, the screen has a timer so you can see how long it's been mixing or heating. And it seems like, I don't know, like really simple, but it's so useful when you want to mix something for like a certain period of time. As I mentioned earlier, I absolutely hate making buttercream. It can be just so messy, and I end up swallowing icing sugar dust in the air, but I probably had the best experience ever this time round. The guards stopped any mess, and there are so many speed settings that I could start it super slow and then build it right up. I genuinely thought I'd need a lot of time to get used to the Kenwood Titanium Chef Patissier XL, but it was really straightforward from the off. It's definitely the perfect machine for beginners and for more experienced bakers. So yeah, if you're looking for something that's full of modern game-changing features with more power, the ability to handle larger mixtures, and can aid you in making the most simple of bakes right up to the most complex, then you definitely won't be disappointed. Now that you watched this video, you definitely need to check out my unboxing video, so click up here for that. And if I film any other bakes using the mixer, then I'll pop them up here. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!